Hey, boo-boo. Sometimes I wish I could be a kitty. Come on. You just lay around and sleep all the time. Pretty good, right, boo? Pretty good. Pretty good life, right, boo? Yeah. Alright, I'll leave you alone. Sorry, my bad. Pay no attention to my desktop. It's dirty. Alright, let's go get on the bike. Oh, hey, girl. How you doing? Ready to go have some fun? So, you remember the last video I was talking about car safety versus motorcycle safety? At the end, I kind of mentioned a little theme about, you know, Lars, you know, MotoBroo, talking about how he didn't want to ride on the street anymore because it was just too dangerous and that he'd rather ride off-road. And it kind of got an interesting narrative going on in my head. And I was like, you know what? Let me ask some of my off-road buddies that ride a lot, race it a lot, all that stuff, see what they think about the topic. That way I can get like a actual good opinion on it and not just me kind of talking out my butt, if you know what I mean. Can we go, please? So if you guys don't know who I'm talking about, a fellow motovlogger, YouTuber, whatever you want to say, recently went down in an accident. Now, I'm not going to really get in here and debate about whose fault it was and things like that. If you want my personal opinion, I honestly think the blame can't be solely pinned on one party or the other. I think they both kind of did things that probably weren't the best. But, you know, he got in a wreck, and I believe he lost his spleen or something, and he kind of had this narrative going that he was going to stop riding the street because he thought it was too dangerous. And you know what? I can get where he's coming from. There's a lot of messed up things that happen on the street. So I asked some of my off-road guys. You know, I've been riding motorcycles for 3 years. I've had my fair share of close calls. And yes, the majority of them are other people's faults. I'm not saying that's the case, so, you know, if you're a car driver and not a motorcycle rider and you're watching this video, I'm not saying it's always you guys' fault, because it's definitely not. There's sometimes things that motorcycle riders do that could be better. What am I doing? I don't know. I just went on red. Really retarded of me. Quite personally, I hate the kind of riders that no matter what, nothing is ever their fault. Like, to be completely honest with you, the whole MotoBroo situation at first kind of irritated the crap out of me because he didn't really want to accept any part of the blame at all. And me, I can't get down with that. You got to hold yourself accountable. So what are some of the dangers of street riding? Well, I think we'll get into the most obvious thing first, is other vehicles. Other vehicles are one of the biggest dangers when it comes to riding on the street, because it's the one thing you have completely no control over. For instance, the guy in front of me could suddenly slam on his brakes. His brake lights might not even work. I might not realize he's slamming on the brakes until I'm like crashing into him. This person creeping, I hate people that do that, because I never know if they're just going to take off out in front of me or not. Because that's another thing you hear a lot from motorcycle accidents. The car driver's like, oh, I didn't see him. I mean, yes, there's steps you can do as riders, hence my bright high-vis helmet. That's not just a fashion statement. Not only do I really like this bright color, but it's also kind of a safety feature because it's a very unnatural color. It's gonna stand out. And for those of you that don't know, your helmet is probably actually one of your most important safety gear, not just protection-wise, but visibility-wise, because your helmet is your highest point on your body and it's the most eye level with other drivers. So if you have a real bright helmet, it's going to decrease the chances of you getting pulled out in front of. Now, it's not going to completely get rid of the chance of people pulling out in front of you, but they say that apparently that helps. Me, I haven't ran any statistics on it. I can't really tell you. Other than other drivers, I guess stuff like this, the road conditions, you never know if there's going to be gravel in the middle of a turn. For instance, a scenario I've heard a lot is people up in the mountains. They'll be up in the mountains and there's a bad rainstorm maybe the night before, and it's washed dirt into the middle of like the turns and stuff down from the banks. So you're in the middle of a turn and next thing you know there's a big patch of dirt or sand or gravel in it. You lose traction and slide out in low side. Potholes, just like that, potholes. You hit a bad enough pothole, it could like throw you into a speed wobble. Although in my experience on a Supermoto, that doesn't seem like that big of a deal. The suspension does a real good job of soaking up bumps and stuff. This is another thing that I'm doing right now that's not necessarily safe. Riding in this guy's blind spot. That's why if you guys ever like wonder why I slightly go faster than traffic, it's because I don't ride in people's blind spot. These days, more than ever, there's so many distractions on the road, from cell phones, GPS, mainly cell phones. Cell phones is probably the biggest one, but you know, I've seen people doing their makeup in their car. People have said they've seen people reading newspapers and who knows what else while they're driving down the road at like 50, 60 miles per hour, not paying attention. So yeah, it's dangerous for a rider. You're already a smaller vehicle to spot, and you got people just not paying attention to add to it. Street riding, the sad thing is yes, you can avoid most crashes because you're a smaller surface area, so it's easier to maneuver out of the way. But you can do everything right, and all it takes is for one other driver to do one thing wrong at just the right time. For instance, right there, that guy was about to merge. He could have merged over into me. Or he might just be a retard leaving his blinker on. I don't know. That's kind of what it seems like. So, you know, you could have all the rider skill in the world. It's not going to always prevent an accident because it just takes one person to do something stupid. But hold that thought. We're going to go get some food with Allie real quick, and we'll continue the vlog after that. Screw it. Shortcut. Hi. Thanks, Zaxby's. That sexy exhaust though. So like I was saying, on the street you can do everything right and it still won't matter because someone could run into you. Come on, Miata, hit the autocross. Knew it. It's some old guy that thinks he's a race car driver. So off-road riding, what's some of the dangers or safety risks of off-road riding? Well, obviously if you're riding in just the woods, I guess you could get lost. And you may or may not have cell service to see where you can get back to a main road or something like that. If you're just trailblazing, cutting through the woods. On that note, if you ride off-road by yourself and you have some kind of major accident, maybe you break your leg real bad, break your shoulder from a fall or something, it's not as easy to ride out of that situation as it is on the street. Because you might have to go up a hill climb again, you may have to climb up some kind of rock face, all kinds of stuff that you're not going to be able to do with an injury. You know, furthermore, if you do get in a major accident or something off-road, depending on where you're riding at, if it's not a high traffic area, people aren't guaranteed to find you. So you pretty much have to rely on yourself to get yourself out of that situation. Whereas on the street, you know, if you get in a wreck, there's like literally, what, 30, 40 people all around to see what happened. Some of the most common injuries are to your knees, your wrists. You know, maybe you land wrong, crack something in your wrist, break your wrist, blow your knee out. If you're doing like enduro races, there is a chance you could get ran over by another rider or taken out. I've had a good friend of mine, he got taken out on the whole shot of a race pretty badly. My buddy actually has a YouTube channel now, doesn't he? Yeah. I think it's RangerMan21 or something like that. I'm going to put it in the description. I'm not 100% sure if that's what it's called, but I'm pretty sure he's got a YouTube channel now that he just started. But yeah, he got taken out at the beginning of a race and ate it bad, real bad. You guys know my buddy Keith. I'll post his channel down below too. You know, really, really great off-road racer, off-road rider. Despite that, you know, he's had his spills too. Just recently, he was at, I think, Battery Park. I believe there's video of it. He was at Battery Park, and the front tire decided to knife one way or the other and threw him on the ground, and he ended up with like some bruises, maybe even a cracked rib. And then we got Zabra 187, again, like a broken record, link in the description. I've seen some of his videos where he's plowed into a tree, or he jumped something and came down wrong. He did that last year. He jumped over like a little bump or something and happened to just land on like another bump just right, and it like threw the handlebar into his like leg or something. He was like messed up from that for like, I think like a week or two. Basically what I'm trying to say is off-road riding isn't without its dangers as well. But here's the big thing that I think really draws the line on which is safer, in my opinion. And the fact of that is, when you're off-road, I asked a lot of buddies about this, and they all kind of said the same thing, and they agree with me, and it's what I was thinking. But like I've said, I'm not an off-road rider. I've ridden off-road maybe 10 to 15 times, really. That's why when I'm riding off-road with friends, they're usually way ahead of me, because I'm just taking my time. To me, it's like I'm still learning how to ride in the dirt. I've still got a lot to learn. They've all kind of said the same thing I was thinking. When you're off-road, you are more in control of your destiny than you are on the street. For instance, if you're off-road and the trail's getting kind of crazy, you can slow down and take it easy and take your time. If you come across a hill climb or a creek crossing or some kind of obstacle that you don't feel safe crossing or getting over, you can look for another way around, or just completely turn around and not go that way anymore and completely decide not to put yourself in that situation. Same thing if you race motocross. You know, if you don't hit a jump fast enough, that's not the jump's fault. That has everything to do with you as the rider. On the street, at any moment, this guy, because he's not paying attention, maybe he's on his phone, he could just merge straight into me. This guy right here could just decide last minute, oh, I'm going to turn right and pull out in front of the bike person. And you have no control over that. When you're off-road, a tree's not just going to automatically get in your way and be like, surprise, motherfucker. It just doesn't happen. So back to the original question. Do I think Lars is correct in saying that riding off-road would be safer than riding on the street? Yes, I agree. It would be. Take it from me. I've been riding on the street for 3 years, and I haven't crashed into anybody yet or had really, really super crazy close calls, and that's mainly because I'm a bit of a paranoid person when I ride. Like, I expect people to do the stupidest things. Like, the absolute stupidest things. I ride really, really defensively. Notice, I'm not trying to rip wheelies or anything when I'm in stop-and-go traffic or anything like that. I'm not trying to increase my chances of getting hurt around other cars. I ride very, very conservatively when there's a lot of traffic around me or stuff like that. And, you know, there's things you can do on the street to make it safer, such as wearing your gear. Getting a high-vis helmet, like I said earlier, makes you easier to spot. Getting a brighter headlight that shines brighter, or one of those ones that modulate so it kind of catches people's eyes better. You know, obeying the speed limits within reason. You know, if the speed limit's 55, don't go doing 70 and expect to be able to stop on a dime when someone misjudges your speed and pulls out in front of you. That's another thing people might not know. Because you're a smaller vehicle, it's harder to judge your speed. Something with the eyes, I don't know what it is, but with smaller objects, it's harder to judge their speed than larger ones. So as a rider, you know, we need to check ourselves sometimes and make sure we're not doing anything that's going to increase our dangers, because it's already dangerous enough with the people out here driving and texting on Snapchat, on Tinder, and who knows what else while they're driving. But I don't know. Yeah, guys, just let me know down below what you guys think. For instance, I thought this guy was about to just turn, and he decides, oh no, I'm going to turn at the next one. Look, another freaking example. usual, let me know your thoughts down below. What's your experiences? And as always, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. I really do appreciate that. Be sure to comment down below, subscribe, click that bell icon so you can be notified of all future videos. While you're at it, click the videos over here on the side of your screen. Check those out. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Later.